When I think of Speedmaster, there are two favorites that come to my mind. First is the classic Moonwatch. Nearly every watch collector at some point in their watch collecting journey wants to try or to own a Moonwatch, and I don't blame them. The Moonwatch is the brand icon. I think it is a fantastic model, and like many of you, I've owned a couple over the years. Now, the other favored models that I think of when I hear Speedy are the two counter ceramic iterations. I am a huge fan of the gray side of the moon, the dark side of the moon, the blue side of the moon. I think the dial work is phenomenal. The cases are nigh impossible to scratch, and the meta certified movements are top level. So if these two counters had ceramic bracelet options, they would easily be my all-time favorite Speedmasters, probably my all-time favorite Omega watches, trumping even the full yellow gold version of the Moonwatch. Now, there are other great chronographs that fall under the Speedmaster family. I'm thinking of the Chronoscope, the 38, the 57, the Racing. But today, I want to share one that often gets overlooked, but it is one of the coolest in the catalog. It is the Speedmaster X-33. Now, this one is the Marstimer iteration, and this one was generously loaned in by Exquisite Timepieces. They make a lot of my watch content possible. Exquisite is a family-owned authorized retailer in Naples, Florida, and they carry over 60 brands, everything from Seiko Sports to Omega to Breguet and Parmigiani Fleurier. So if you are interested in any Omega model, including this X-33, reach out to my salesman, Mauricio. His contact information is below. Now let's start with a few noteworthy aspects of the watch. The case is made from grade 2 titanium, so the metal has a more muted hue, a darker look. It's a little bit less reflective and less eye-catching, but it is incredibly lightweight and very comfortable to wear. The weight is about 112 grams. Now, the bracelet is made from a mix of grade 2 and grade 5 titanium. It has the older style 5-link and deployant clasp layout. And the case and the bracelet are entirely brushed, but I think still offer a lot of visual interest. If this execution was an entirely matte finish, I think it would feel a little bit too austere, maybe a touch toolish for my preference. I think this, as shown, looks really good, especially in natural light. Now you will note a brownish colored anodized aluminum bezel. This color is called red hematite, and it is meant to match the reddish hue of the dirt on the planet Mars, hence the name the Marstimer. This aluminum has been hardened, and it will be twice as hard as a Moonwatch aluminum bezel insert, so it will be more difficult to scratch, to mar, or to mark. And I really enjoy seeing the circular brush finish on that bezel. I think it matches the case and the bracelet nicely. And the other cool thing is we don't often see watches that use this color, so that's a plus in the unique factor. Now, this red hematite color is also found on the chronograph seconds hand, and then a portion of the top left function pusher. You could also additionally opt for this on a NATO strap that features a little bit of that red hematite, though as a lot of you can probably guess, I prefer this on the bracelet as shown. I just think it feels complete to me in this configuration. Now, the bezel indexing is fully loomed, which is really nice to see. It's a very bright green application. It really is easy to use, easy to read in dark conditions, and I think that's important for a sports piece, especially one that's meant to go into space. Now, the case back shows this Speedmaster X-33 Marstimer is tested and flight qualified for the ESA, or the European Space Agency. I know it's not NASA like we are used to with the Speedmaster, but the ESA has still done quite a few impressive accomplishments in various missions over the years. The watch has a domed sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coatings on both sides of this flame fusion sapphire. And then this is arguably the best part about the watch. It has a high precision thermally compensated quartz caliber that can do a host of different functions. And I know not everybody loves a Superquartz, especially when you have to spend multiple thousands of dollars on one, when you can take the same budget and apply that to a traditional mechanical caliber. But I think many seasoned watch collectors will appreciate a well-engineered Superquartz, and this one is arguably one of the most impressive quartz calibers on the market from any brand. It is called the Omega 5622. It powers an analog/digital display, and you can keep track of MET, or mission elapsed time, or PET, phase elapsed time. It's a perpetual calendar, and it does have an alarm feature and a light up system, so you can operate this in low light conditions. There is also a microcontroller within the caliber that implements the equation of time for both Earth and Mars, so it can show true solar time on both planets. Not that you'll ever likely be wearing this on the surface of Mars, but it is impressive nonetheless. There will be an Earth or a Mars icon displayed on the digital readout, just depending on which mode you are in. And lastly, the watch has a solar compass, which can direct you to true north on either Earth or on Mars. So Omega has really packed in the features on this high accuracy quartz caliber. It is more of a computer really than say a traditional Superquartz in my opinion, but I am impressed with what they have done. You operate all of the features through a crown at the 3 o'clock position, and then function pushers at the 2, the 4, the 8, and the 10 o'clock positions. Don't ask me to create a how-to tutorial here, as that would take long enough to be an entirely different video on its own, but just know this Speedmaster X-33 can do a heck of a lot, and I think it is a shame that it is not shown more love within the Speedmaster collecting circles. I think this is distinctive, I think this is functional and tough, but I do think it's fair to say that any non-traditional Speedmaster like the Racing or like this Marstimer or a Chronoscope or 57 will always live in that venerable Moonwatch historic shadow, and there is just no changing that. So please let me know if you have any specific questions, and I'll do my best to answer those below. I hope you enjoyed this look into the Speedmaster X-33 Marstimer, and for anyone interested, this one is available right now at Exquisite Timepieces. The original X-33 came out back in 1998, and this Marstimer debuted in 2022, so I don't know when this will be discontinued, but I think it's important to mention that it is currently unorderable on Omega's website, so if you are shopping this watch, I really wouldn't delay too long. Again, a link to Exquisite is below. Thank you for watching today. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.